I'm a marine scientist, proud to be. I lead an organisation called the Australian Institute of Marine Science, which is quite clearly a government agency that works in tropical areas on marine science that's important for Australia. I still have a very strong link back into James Cook University because we're very strong collaborators. We live in the same city, we know each other very well, and so in many ways my journey that started in Townsville in the 70s as an undergraduate and then a graduate has come full circle. I joined AIMS about 5 years ago and really hadn't been back to Townsville very often between when I left with an honours degree in 1980 and when I joined AIMS in 2012. So, as you know, marine science at James Cook University, certainly in the tropical coral reef ecology, is absolutely world leading. So my institution, AIMS and James Cook University, are known worldwide as the centres of excellence for tropical marine science, and we should be very proud of it jointly. Many of the people that I employ did their degrees, their higher degrees also at James Cook. So we lay claim to being the best in the world in tropical marine science, and long may that be the case. There are lots of different paths as a university graduate. One is to go into academia, and I made a really definite choice not to become an academic. I really did want to become an applied scientist who would work for applications of science. And so CSIRO and now AIMS have been quite conscious choices of mine. And it's so, in highlights, I've worked in fisheries that were in great trouble in terms of sustainability, and through good science and advocacy of science into politicians and industry, been able to turn some of those, been part of helping those fisheries turn around to become sustainable and profitable. I've worked very, very hard on conservation of threatened species. Again, you're very proud at the end of your career when you look back and see that you've made a very specific difference to a number of things that you care about. One of the things that I've learnt, having worked my way through leadership inside organisations, and now having a perspective, seeing the roles of universities, seeing the roles of publicly funded research agencies like CSIRO and AIMS, is that we all are cogs in a wheel of providing information, translating information, and then helping people make decisions. And when it comes to sustainability, quite often questions and decisions around sustainability involve trade-offs. You know, it would be lovely for us to say, yes, we've got a wonderfully sustainable Great Barrier Reef off our doorstep here in Townsville. We know that there are things that we need to do better in land use practices. We know that we've got to stem the flow of carbon dioxide to make the Great Barrier Reef a sustainable asset for Australia. Science can help with that, but science isn't the only thing that's needed. We need translators of that science, and then we need people who can make the arguments with ministers and with UNESCOs and with international bodies. Is James Cook doing enough of that? Absolutely. From the basic science through to people who are playing really major roles in international discussions. I see AIMS' role as being to harness a lot of the science that James Cook does and we do ourselves, and take that to political discussions. And yet James Cook is positioning itself as one of the providers of choice in marine science and tropical science generally, both in Australia and globally. And Sandra Harding, the VC, is very, very much leading the charge there, and she's to be applauded for the work that she's doing to herald the importance of the tropics globally. Well, I'm about 6 months off from finishing my term at AIMS, and so my real challenge will be where I go to from here. I'm very committed as a marine scientist and as a translator of marine science, so I'll undoubtedly have some opportunities to do that in the future.